Don't buy trouble. You can spot a bad house in just 60 seconds. Not haunted by ghost bad, haunted by repair bills bad. And here in the Seattle metro area, when even the starter homes come with luxury price tags, the last thing you want is to drop your savings into a place that quietly becomes a money pit. Quick story to set the tone. A listing went viral recently because the for sale sign had just one big bold rider that said not haunted. No new roof, no updated kitchen, no great schools, just don't worry, no ghost. Honestly, on brand for how weird real estate can get. But the house you actually need to worry about isn't haunted by a ghost, it's haunted by things like a roof way past its expiration date, moisture issues because hello rain, a 90s furnace that's never been serviced, and a seller who suddenly gets very forgetful on the disclosure form. If you are new here, hi, I'm Neelam. I'm real estate agent in the greater Seattle area, and on this channel we talk about real estate, what things actually cost, what to look for, and how to make smart decisions in a very expensive, very rainy market. So here's what we are going to do today. Why first-time buyers around here are getting older, choosing smaller homes, and getting creative. My bad house checklist, the actual process I use when previewing homes with buyers, so you can spot trouble before you get emotionally attached. By the end, you will know the difference between a slightly quirky Seattle area home you can totally handle and a financially haunted house you should absolutely run from. Grab your mental clipboard, we are going on a showing. Step 1, the drive up. Neighborhood and location. Before we even get out of the car, I'm already forming an opinion about this house. As we pull up, here's what I'm checking. Parking and slope. Is street parking a nightmare, especially in older Seattle neighborhoods? Is the driveway usable, or is it one of those insanely steep ones where you are basically rock climbing with your car? Could you actually have friends over in Bellevue or Kirkland without them circling the block for 30 minutes? If you like to host Diwali parties, game nights, barbecues, kids' birthday parties, cozy Thanksgiving dinners, parking is not a small thing. It's quality of life. What the house backs up to. In our area, I'm thinking about, is the house right on a backing to a busy road like Avondale, 148, Lake City Way, or right next to I-5 or 405? Is there a giant office building, park and ride, or commercial parking lot right behind it? Are we under big power lines or dealing with the road noise 24/7? You can't fix location. So if we are starting with noise, traffic, or an awkward corner lot, that's a mental strike. Neighbor's yard. Yes, I'm absolutely eyeballing the neighbors. Are yards roughly maintained, or is it a full-on project car graveyard and overgrown everything? Does the street feel cared for or kind of neglected? You don't have to live in a postcard, but a chronically trashed yard next door is a future headache for resale and daily living. If we are already stacking red flags and we haven't even opened the front door, that's your first clue that might be a no house. Step 2. Exterior walk, roof, trees, siding, foundation, drainage. Now you get out and start the walk around. Roof aka Moss Festival. This is Seattle, so moss happens, but I'm looking at how much moss is on the roof. A little or full-on green blanket. Are shingles curling, missing, cracked, or sagging in spots? Does anything look wavy, like it's dipping between rafters? Roof is a big ticket item for a typical house around here that can easily be tens of thousands of dollars. So if it's obviously at the end of its life, that's a major budget factor. Trees, our beautiful expensive problem. We love our big firs and cedars until they are leaning towards the house, dropping needles and branches straight onto the roof, or planted so close that roots are threatening the foundation, driveway, or sewer line. Taking down a large tree in, say, Redmond or Sammamish is not cheap. And in winter windstorms, those branches aren't magically going to miss the house because you hope for the best. Siding and foundation. On the exterior walls and foundations, I am looking for rot at the bottom of wood, siding, especially older T1 to 11 or trim boards. Cracks in concrete. Hairline vertical cracks often indicate normal settling. Wider cracks, step cracks, or horizontal cracks, we need to look deeper. Even if something is being patched, I mentally flag it. Patched means there was a story there. I want to know the story. Drainage and gutters. We live in a rain climate, so we need to see where the water goes. Do gutters and downspouts actually pull water away from the house? Is the soil graded toward the foundation? That's bad. Or away. That is a good indication. After rain, do you see standing water near the house or obvious soggy spots? In the PNW weather, poor drainage and extended exposure that literally equates to foundation problems, musty crawl space and mold. That's not a fun surprise. Step 3. Step inside. Floors, ceiling, windows, fireplace. Now we go through the front door. My colleagues laugh, but the first thing I look at is floors, whether it's hardwood, engineered wood, laminate or LVP. I'm checking dark, black stains, especially near sinks, doors or under windows. It can indicate water damage. Soft spots when you walk, that can mean subfloor issues or rot. Weird slopes or dips, sometimes old house charm, sometimes more. If there's tile, you will see this in some kitchens, entries and baths. Multiple cracked tiles over a big area, that is pricey to remove and replace. Tile that's clearly uneven or poorly laid screams DIY warning. Floors are not cheap to fix, especially if it's a big continuous area. Think about entry, kitchen, dining, living. That's not just a weekend project. Walls, ceilings. Next, we look up again. Any yellow or brown water stains, odd fresh patch in the ceiling, cracks. Are they tiny, hairline ones or bigger ones? More serious looking cracks. Hairline cracks can be totally normal settling, especially in older Seattle homes. But big, jagged, repeating cracks, especially over doors or windows, make a mental note to ask further when the house is being inspected. Windows. Windows are sneaky expensive, especially if you got lot of them with nice views. I'm checking, are they old aluminum sliders, single pane? Do they open and close smoothly, or do you have to fight with them? Any fogging or condensation between the panes? If every window in a 2-story is original and half broken, that is a major cost you will be taking on in the next few years. Fireplace. Most homes around here have either gas inserts or old brick wood burning fireplaces. I want to know, is it a gas or wood? If it's wood, does it look used regularly or not at all? Is the surround cracked, pulling away or clearly patched? If you are serious about using a wood burning fireplace, plan on a chimney inspection. If you never plan to burn wood, we still care about whether it's structurally sound and not leaking. Step 4. Systems, electrical, heat, water heater, AC, heat pump. This is the boring but critical part of the walkthrough. Electrical panel I'm looking at, amperage 100, 150, 200. 200A is common in newer Eastside builds. Does it look reasonably modern or something from a museum? Are there wires everywhere? Double tap breakers? Obviously DIY. A chaotic overlooked panel is a huge red flag. It does not always kill the deal, but it does mean licensed electrician and money. Heat, furnace, baseboard or heat pump. We see all kinds of setups here. Gas furnace with ducts, electric baseboard heat, ductless mini splits, heat pumps. I'm checking age if we can find the tag, visible rust or corrosion, signs that nobody has serviced it ever. An older but well-maintained furnace can be okay. A middle-aged, rusty, clearly neglected unit, assume replacement is coming sooner rather than later. Water heater. I always hunt for the install date. Under 10 to 12 years, okay. Over that, you are on a borrowed time. Water heaters do not last forever, and in lot of cases, replacement is welcome to your new house gift you give yourself. AC, heat pump, condensers. Not every home in our area has AC, but it's becoming way more common. If there is AC or heat pump outside, is the condenser rusted, leaning or beat up? Does it look newer or original? Old, rough-looking outdoor units usually mean you are closer to replacement than you would like. Step 5. Basements, crawl space and moistures. In the Seattle Eastside market, a lot of homes have crawl space instead of full basements, but you do see basements in certain areas and older homes. Basements where they exist. In an unfinished basement, I look for stains or tide lines along the walls, a few inches to a foot up, white chalky residue on concrete, efflorescent from moisture, strong musty smell, dehumidifiers running non-stop. A little mustiness can be normal, but visible staining or obvious moisture history, well, we need clarity and a game plan. Crawl spaces. With crawl space, you won't always see them on a basic showing, but if we can peek, I love to check if the vapor barrier is intact, look for standing water or muddy areas, see if insulation is falling down or chewed up. Even if we cannot get a good look, any moisture, musty smells upstairs makes me very interested in what's happening below your feet. That's where your inspector earns their paycheck. Step 6. DIY and flippish renovations. Now let's talk about everyone's favorite DIY work. I'm not anti-DIY, But if we walk into a bathroom in Bothell or a kitchen in Redmond and see tiles set unevenly, gaps between the vanity and the wall, mismatched caulk, weird transitions, missing trims, it tells me the renovations might not have been done by a pro. Fresh paint and new LVP can hide a lot. So I'm always asking, does the workmanship look solid or does it look like someone rushed to flip it? There's nothing wrong with the flip if it was done well. There's a lot wrong with lipstick on a pig. Step 7. Disclosures ghost and why you still need an inspection. Let's talk about paperwork for a second. Washington Seller Disclosure Form 17. In Washington State, sellers fill out a disclosure form about the property. Past water damage, known structural issues, repairs, renovations, systems, etc. That's helpful, but it's not a guarantee. Disclosures are only as the person filling them out. Some people genuinely forget, some people are selective. I always read the disclosure carefully before we plan to submit an offer, so we know what to watch for, and if I see something in person that contradicts that form, we ask questions. Haunted, deaths and stigma. People ask this more than you would think, but do sellers have to tell me if someone died here or if it's haunted? In general, those are considered stigmas, not physical defects. Laws vary, but around here you are not getting a checkbox that says, yes, we think we have ghosts. If that matters to you, ask directly. Any deaths in the house, any violent crimes, any history I should know about? Some sellers and agents will share, some won't. But nobody is required to write haunted on a form. Now all that is interesting, but it does not replace this. Never waive your inspection. Obviously that is going to be driven by the market condition. You can walk through my checklist, you can have an agent with a very picky eye, you can watch this video 3 times, 4 times as you please. You still need a professional home inspection. A good inspector will crawl under the house, check the attic, test outlets, appliances and systems more thoroughly, identify safety hazards and big ticket items. Your job is not to find every flaw. Your job is to avoid money pit. Step 8. When is it a bad house? So do I officially call it a bad house? For me, if I see a combination of tired roof, obvious exterior rot, foundation or structural concerns, drainage, moisture problems, aging major systems, furnace, window, water heater, panel, sloppy DIY and price is nowhere near reflecting all of this, that's when I look at my buyers and say, you can buy this, but you are signing for a multi-year renovation and a lot of unexpected bills. Is that what you want? Notice I'm not saying a house has to be perfect. There is no perfect house, especially if you're looking at 60s, 80s ramblers, split levels and older craftsman style homes in Seattle. The goal is not perfection. The goal is avoiding the truly bad ones. Step 9. Reality check for first-time buyers here. Let's zoom back out for a second. In our market, prices are high, rates are higher than we got used to during the 3% era, and that has pushed the average first-time buyer's age way up. But that does not mean you are doomed. What I see working for first-time buyers in Seattle metro area, being okay with smaller townhomes, modest ramblers, split levels, letting go of the fantasy forever homes on your first purchase, being flexible on finishes you can update over time, being absolutely ruthless about avoiding major structural and moisture problems. Your first home is not a Pinterest board, it's a launch pad. If you avoid the big hidden issues, you can live comfortably, build equity and upgrade later when it makes sense. Okay, now your turn. Before you click away, I want to hear it in the comment. What's the biggest red flag you have ever seen in a house? And do you want to buy a house people swear as haunted if the price was right? Let's be honest, if you are shopping in our Seattle metro area and you want help making sense of the inspection reports, deciding what's a deal breaker versus what's just annoying but fixable, or figuring out whether now is actually the right time to buy, hit the link in the description. Let's build a strategy that does not just get you into a home but keeps you out of the money pit. If this walkthrough gave you even one aha moment, hit like, subscribe to this channel and tap the bell so you don't miss the next deep dive into what real estate is really like in the PNW. I'm Neelam Singh, your Seattle metro area real estate advisor. Keep your eyes open, trust your instincts, and remember, spotting trouble early is how you protect your future equity. I'll see you in the next one.